mean, I guess you remember that because you used to teach some of those courses with me, so you remember who they were and what they were like, and they were, you know, they had created mammoth companies and so on.
Yes.
Or, you know, were doctors or whatever, you know, doctors and chiropractors and so on, who, God, doctors always want training and being better in business because it's one thing they get nothing on when they're in medical school, poor little guys.
That's probably true.
Sad but true. That's what they all complained about to me. But we don't do that anymore, so back to what we're doing now, which is that's why this is a religion. This is a religion because you are in direct access with God. And see, back when I first discovered this, I thought, my God, this is going to sweep through humanity like a brush fire. Everyone's dying for this. And it didn't.
No, I know why. There's a lot of counterforce. I mean, there's a lot of counterforce. It's the same way peace or like feeding the hungry doesn't go through like wildfire, even though it's possible and it's right there.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's just it takes like a real commitment and focus and ability to like not be distracted.
Yes. Yes, this takes a lot. And you know, I've now seen, so now I've been thinking about early Christianity.
Me too, the Gnostics yes, me too.
Yes, because in early Christianity, it was not established. It was the slave religion, and it was only for people who were willing to put everything they had into it, all their eggs in one basket, and just be determined that they were going to stay connected with Jesus. Even after his crucifixion and hundreds of years later, it was still struggling along until Constantine, or Constantine's mother actually, discovered it. And she became a Christian. And she went to Constantine, who wasn't a Christian, and she said to him, he was in trouble. He was about to lose his empire. And she said to him, when you go into battle, she handed him a cross, and she said, this is the symbol. She said, use this. She said, what you do is look for the sign of the cross, and then use it. However you can. You'll think of it. You'll see it. You'll know it. I can't tell you. She didn't know. But she said, you'll see it. And Constantine was going to have this famous battle. I can't remember which battle it was, but he was going to battle. And he had a dream about, I guess, winning or whatever. Or maybe he saw all his soldiers with crosses painted on their chest. And he got up from his bed and he walked outside and looked in the sky, and he saw a cross. It was a cloud formation, I guess, but it was in the shape of a cross, and which I've never seen one of those, so it's probably pretty rare. But anyway,
I see the Virgin Mary.
You're right. He looked at it and he said, okay, I get it. He went to his soldiers and he said, you are now all Christians. He said, you're going to paint this on your chests before the battle, and you won't get killed. We'll win. But you have to paint this thing on your chests. And they did. They painted the crosses on their chests, because soldiers are superstitious. Man, you don't have to tell them twice. You say, if you do this, you will live. They did it. And guess what? They won the battle, of course, because they had the proper mental attitude, you know. And so, Constantine did a lot for Christianity after that. He did a huge amount for Christianity. He was a major activist. And consequently, we now have Christianity ubiquitous in our culture, which is a good thing. But here's another thing to test, okay? And put this up and say, am I competent to do the job of any Christian minister? What do you get there?
I am competent to convey the same.
Right. Could I convey what has to be conveyed as well as the best pope who ever lived?
Wow. I feel like I can. I get that I can.
Okay, now the thing about this is that anybody who is doing this is probably going to get those same signals.
Yes.
Like the person who watches this movie should probably watch it again and test every question you tested and see if they get the same signals. Most of them probably will, because this all comes from God, and you're as good as everybody else, and they are as good as you.
Well, I mean, that's what, back to your original question about what makes us the religion, that anybody can do it and more. That's the,
Yes.
I think it's anybody can do that. And that a lot of these figureheads were not, they are like us, and they have a more physical, logistical protection, but that's accessible and transferable by any of us.
Well, here's what Jesus said.
To apply themselves.
Jesus said, even the least among you will do all that I have done and even greater things.
Well, there you go.
That's what he said about us. And here we are, and it's happening, except when we talk to a Christian about this, they say, oh, no, I'm a Christian. I don't believe in what you guys believe in. And some of them even think it's the work of the devil. They're nuts.
I know.
But that has nothing to do with the best of them, who we are as good as or better at conveying Jesus or the connection with God that has to be made by everyone on this planet. Everyone has to make this God connection.
Yes.
Every last person on earth, because otherwise we're going to destroy this planet. We will destroy this planet if we don't make that connection.
Well, if we get like a critical mass, which I think we're almost getting, because I've met Christians who get it, who really are aware that, they have to be careful about the pitfalls of their current religion or the way that it's practiced. I'm raised Christian, I'm a Christian. Except it's like it's like the way you outgrow certain things, you have to stay connected to God. You have to do it. And, we can bring that into your church and so forth too, except you have to remember that you're doing it. And a good priest or a good pope would remember that too, and encourage the people to know that. And we all need to be doing it. We all need each other. And you can do it yourself. It's just like a doctor who's threatened by an easy cure, or a political figure who's threatened by the fact that there could be peace, or that they don't need all that war inventory. Like this is easy. This is easy. Doesn't mean you never have to go to church again. You have to abolish the church or fire your priest. It's just like they have to understand their roles. We can do this. You can do it from your house. You can do it anytime. And like you say, we ought to be all doing it. For just being in that place, reminding each other.
I was talking to somebody who does the avatar trainings.
That's important too.
And she was telling me, she said, well, next week I'm going to the avatar training, and then I'm going to make a huge spiritual leap. And I instantly heard the disease.
Yep.
Because right there, you see that here's this woman who is waiting for the next training, and when she can have her leap right now, right here.
Right.
And, she's going to be back from that training, and she's not going to have it.
Yeah, that's what's funny about this, the way you've presented what we're doing on the internet, because, you can just do it. The minute you log on, you're there. You don't have to jump through any hoops or do this or do that or reach a certain level. You can be connected immediately, and then you can just go deeper and go broader and have practice and applying it. And oops.
Our church is on the net.
It is on the net. I mean, it's everywhere. This is our service.
Our church is your condo, Barb.
It's true. It's true.
No, it's not pathetic. You have a nice condo. Come on, you have a beautiful view from your.
I have one parishioner here today. I want you to see her. Here, wait, where is she?
Where's that pooch? Oh, such a happy little dog.
Yes, she's fell asleep in her pew.
Well, I can't blame her with these boring sermonizings going on here. Can't really blame her, can you?
No.
Well, Barb, I love you, and I will meet with you again perhaps tomorrow.